Hello again, welcome back to our series of videos talking about sound desks, specifically aimed at churches. This video is all about the gain control, which is this row of knobs right at the top of the desk, this red coloured on this desk, and they're right at the top of the desk because they are the first control we have over the sound, and in some ways the most important. In that the gain control controls how much sound we get into the desk. So no matter how loud the sound is in a given connector, we can control and adjust the level of that sound into the desk. Now we can, if something's a bit quiet, we can boost it. If something's a bit loud, we can turn it down. What we can also do, and this is what we mustn't do, but what you can do is overload the desk by setting something up that's, by turning the gain up too high on a given input source. So the way to set up the gain is as follows. Once you've got everything plugged into your desk and you've turned on what have you, you press the pre-fade listen button. In one of our later videos we'll talk about this section on the desk, but if you press the pre-fade listen button, I've got my laptop sat there wired into channel 10, and when you press the pre-fade listen button you get these dancing lights on the meters. On my laptop I'm just playing some music, you're not going to hear it, but it just plays some music, and we then use the gain control to set the lights on here. Now as I turn the gain control up clockwise, the lights go up and up and up and up and up. We're going out of the green and we're now into the yellow, and if I go all the way up we land up in the red. Now whenever we're in the yellow, and definitely when we're in the red, we're going to get distorted sound. It's overloading. So no matter what your sound input source is, we want to set the gain so that it stays in the green. If it blips into the red every now and again, if it blips into the yellow every now and again, it's not going to matter, but we don't want it normally in the yellow. So I'm just going to back that off a tiny bit more. So that's my laptop. I've now set that so that it's just blipping around the 0 decibel mark. Now, one thing that I commonly see happening in churches is, because the gain control at the top of there controls the amount of sound coming into the desk, if the fader is up further down the desk, if you turn the gain down, the sound out the speakers will turn down for that respective channel because it's controlling the sound coming into the desk. The problem with that is if you turn the gain down, it controls the sound, the volume of the sound going out of the other ports, and we've got 4 of them on this desk, 4 auxiliary sends. Now auxiliary sends, there's a separate video for that later on, but they might be used for people in your band on stage. They're separate sends off the desk, and chances are you don't want those to be turned up and down part way through. So the easiest analogy I can give you for gain, and it's important to understand, is that if you think of an outside tap at home, if you turn on the outside tap, you introduce a given amount of water pressure into the hosepipe. If you then turn the spray head on at the other end, you can then regulate how much water is sprayed onto your garden. So outside tap is the gain control, and then you use the fader for controlling how much sound comes out of your speakers. As I say, like using the spray head to decrease or increase the pressure of the water onto your lawn. So many times I see churches in particular using the gain to control the sound, but please use the faders because that's the right way to do it. Now you may notice, I'll go to the iPad for this, but you may notice around the perimeter of the gain control, if I zoom right in on there, it all looks a bit complicated. We've got the gain knob in the middle there, then we've got a ring around the perimeter that says mic from -6 all the way around to 63 fully clockwise, and then line from -10 through to 0 at kind of 11 o'clock through to 10 at 1 o'clock, and then 26 all the way around. Generally speaking, I ignore that completely. If I'm setting the gain, I'll do exactly as I've just told you how to do it. If you want to get a bit techie, then if you're using professional audio gear, then and plugged into the line input, you might set the gain to the 0 position, so that kind of 11 o'clock. But honestly, I ignore the graduations around that completely and just turn it up so it's right on the meters, as I said. Now, sometimes it might be right on the meters, but actually it's still too loud, and the only control you've got on the fader is really low down here. And the best position for the fader to give you maximum control is around the 0 mark. So sometimes you might set the gain right and it be blipping up and down around the 0 mark on the fader, but that might still be too much. So you might choose to back that off a little bit just to give you more control on the individual channel. But generally speaking, set it up so that it's just blipping around 0 at the maximum. That's it. That's gain.